Hey guys, what is up? RC Nurse here. So for today's video, I just want to do kind of like this is my RC collection video. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you each of all the cars up close, what I've done to them, upgrades. I'll show you my airplanes as well. So yep, I got my Rustler, my Big Rock, my Outcast, my Slash, my Erevo, and then my Turbo Timber right here, my little UMX Night Vapor. So I'll go through in detail one by one. Thanks. So this is my Rustler 4x4. This is the first hobby grade RC car that kind of started me on the hobby. So this one by far probably has the most upgrades on it. As far as the body goes, this is a eBay body. It's not like custom made or anything. Or I didn't get a special order, but they had a whole bunch of them. So I'm not really sure what the graphics are. There's a pig on the front, but I thought it looked kind of cool, so picked it up. And then this is a exoskeleton, and I think it's a T-Bone Racing exoskeleton, and it hooks onto the inner cage part right there. But also did the drywall tape and plasti dip on the inside. And then as far as tires go, Pro Lines front and rear. These are the paddle tires, obviously, and these are the, I don't exactly recall, the Badlands in front. Have a Hobby Wing SCT 10 system with a 3660 3200 kV motor. It's got a center diff. I know stock is a slipper clutch, but I have a center diff in there with, I think, 1 million weight fluid. Have the Traxless aftermarket chassis stiffener. Big bore shocks, front and rear. I think I run 60 weight in the back and 40 weight in the front. RPM from bumper, T-Bone Racing rear bumper. This did come with the wheelie bar, but I ended up taking it off because I don't really need it, just extra protection. Have sway bars front and rear, a GPM diff covers or diff cases in the rear and in the front. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's a little kit off eBay, a battery holder, and allows you to use straps instead of their like system that you click in with. Receiver and transmitter, I use my RC4GS right there with the RC4GS receiver. Really good receiver. This is still the original chassis. I may have replaced the front bulkhead once. I'm not quite sure. Have aftermarket steel axles in the back and then in the front as well. For some reason, so these are the older ones, but for some reason the ones in the front are the ones that the same style that I had in the back. I swear to God, I broke like 8 of them off right at the hub, I guess, like where the portion that you screw on connects to the axle itself. I broke like 8 of those, and with these ones so far, I haven't had a problem at all. So good quality there. RPM rod ends all throughout. Let's see what else. Oh, GPM aluminum servo saver. I think I have a JX, just like 1/10 scale servo, and I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a JX in there. You can barely see it, but really good, really good. Haven't failed me yet. Overall, besides the arms breaking every once in a while, this is a really good truck. Never had any diff issues, never any gear issues, nothing like that. Oh, I have Hot Racing motor mount right here as well. Let's see what else. I might be forgetting some stuff, but I think that's most of it. Yeah, when I run this truck, I probably break it the least, just because it's a really good platform, really durable. So that's my Rustler, my first hobby grade right there. This is still the original center drive shaft as well. Just a really good vehicle. I would definitely recommend either this one or a Big Rock if you're starting out, just because they're durable, and especially if you're not too crazy, they'll last you a long time. So yeah, good truck there, very nice. Next up is my Arma Big Rock V3. Oh, I forgot to say, that's 3S. I can run 4S on it if I want. This is also a 3S, but I can run 4S if I want. I just don't. 3S is enough for these little 1/10 scales. Starting off with the body. Oops, there goes my body clips. It's an original body. However, on the inside, for this one, I did drywall tape and shoe glue. Definitely a lot harder to do it this way, and it adds a lot of weight too. So, wouldn't really recommend it. I would recommend the drywall tape and the plasti dip. Oh, check it out. Our senior is right there. This one is more stock than my Rustler. I have I think it's an EcoBoost servo right there, 20 kilogram. Pretty good servo. Same Hobby Wing system. This is the SCT 10 with the same 3660 3200 kV motor. However, for this one, I put the original heatsink back on with the fan. Tires, Traxless lockups. These have been pretty good so far. I haven't had any issues with them becoming unglued, but I know they're not on there now. Those are Pro Lines, but my 6-packs from Outcast, those things come unglued every time I run them. Pro Line shocks. These shocks are super plush, really good, and they have like the dual stage spring rates. Haven't had any problems with those. M2C Racing motor mount and axle holder right here. Let's see what else. Honestly, I think that's about it. Oh, and I have a bigger pinion in there. I think I have the high-speed pinion that's in there. I don't remember what it is. I think it's an 18 tooth. I don't recall. But this is also a really good truck, really easy to work on. And I don't know what it is with Arma and their rod ends, but they always seem to stretch out really easy, and they tend to get loose after a couple runs. So you start to get like the wheel wobbles like that. It's not really a big deal, and especially if you just bash them, like I don't really care. But when you're, showing your cars off or showing people, it's kind of embarrassing when they kind of touch around and it's like, oh, like that looks like it's loose, but it's just the build quality of some of these Armas. Same thing for these EXP rod ends, but I'll get into that later. Yeah, this is also a 4-wheel drive. This is a really fun truck. It's super durable too. I've only broken 1 or 2 arms on this. I've broken more arms on that one. But this one, out of the box, you can do backflips. Super easy, really durable. As far as overheating, I've had it shut down a couple times, but besides that, I do run my trucks really hard. So for me, that's to be expected. I do have M2C Racing, they're not lug nuts, they're like the wheel adapters. I don't have them on here yet. They're so you can fit any 17mm size wheels on here. Once I get different wheels, I'll look into it, but for now that's all stock. Yeah, so this is actually my second chassis. The first one, I didn't film it, I wish I did, but I was at a skate park and I went full speed off a quarter pipe, and I probably went 50 feet in the air and miscalculated my landing, and landed nose first and literally snapped my chassis right in half. But yeah, besides this, no diff issues. Haven't broken an axle yet, and you can tell they're pretty worn down. But yeah, haven't broken any yet. So, but yeah, there's my Big Rock. All right, now for my Outcast. This is still the original body, and you can tell it's really beat up, especially the back. I've tried rivets, I've tried brackets, I've tried tape, but for some reason these back ends, these Outcast bodies, they just don't last because they get caught underneath the wing and the wing rips them off. And so, but drywall tape and plasti dip, for the most part, this thing has held up really awesome. I don't really need a new body anytime soon. I think it looks pretty nice. Have a couple stickers on there. Have my RC nurse sticker right there as well. But now the part that you guys care about. So this is very, very, very heavily modded. Let me start in the front, I guess. So for the longest time, I was running RPM arms, and I still am up front on half of it. But I ended up bending more axles than breaking arms, and axles are a lot more expensive than arms are, and RPM they just bend. So overall, didn't like them, so I went back to the Arma brand and back, and then right here, that's still RPM, upper still RPM, and same with this one. Until these break, then you know I'll keep running them. But it was mostly the back that I was bending the axles. So, yep, there we go. Vidavon front and rear diff housing. The only issues I have with these Vidavons, with these diff housings, is once you snug these screws down to put the cover back on, it tightens up the inside, so you literally can't even turn the outdrives, because the way it compresses on the bearings for the outdrives, it makes it so you can't turn it. So it's so what I had to do to fix those fitment issues is I actually used a shim, and I put it one shim here and then one shim on the other side. You can kind of see it sticking out right there, but it adds enough space to where you can snug these 4 screws down right here, and it creates a tight fit, and you can tighten them down all the way, and you're still able to spin these the gearing and the outdrives without it snaking up too much. So yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I know that Vidavon makes the actual diff, like not the housings, but the maybe it is the housings, and these are just these are the bulkheads. So the actual like diff housings that go inside of here, Vidavon makes those now. So I wonder maybe if you got that, it would work hand in hand, and there would be no like space issues or fitment issues. But okay, so besides that, front and rear have a Hobbywing Max 5 system. This right here is an ECS ESC mount I got on eBay. It allows you to put 2 fans on your ESC. So really, I mean, your motor can run as high as it wants to, and it's still gonna run, but your ESC is gonna shut down with the temperatures. So my motor, I know I should care about it more, but I really don't. I have a fan on there, and it gets hot. I know it gets hot, but I'll keep running it. So, but my ESC is what shuts down with the heat. So got the 2 fans, Game Changer fans. That's Game Changer as well, and so is this little fan right here. And I run all these fans off of a 3S battery that I have that I zip tie separately to my chassis and my my support beams. So yep, this M2C Racing motor mounts right here with the bracket right there. M2C Racing 7075 chassis. M2C Racing 7mm thick shock shafts on all 4 corners. This is a Vidavon servo saver, Vidavon support brace right there, because this one actually cracked. My plastic one cracked. And then I have the other Vidavon one right there. So you want these ones to be metal, because if you're on the field and you break them and they're plastic, it's a lot more difficult to get to. Whereas you have them on these, on the ends right here, that's easy to get to. Let's see, I think I run 1,000,000 weight in the rear and front, and then the center is earplugged up with 20 million weight as well. M2C Racing
hardened axles, all four corners. You can tell they're a little bit more beefy right in the middle. And yesterday, driving this truck, I actually landed on one wheel and shattered an arm. And the shock shaft was fine, the axle was fine, everything was fine except for the arm. The center drive shafts are stock. Let's see, got the Proline Badlands right here with the what do you call it? With the screws that go all the way around. I'm blanking right now. And then the EXB rod ends in the back and the front. Scorched RC Racing steering knuckle on the fronts. Hot Racing pillow ball retainers on the front. I've only had to replace a couple bearings so far. The rest of them are stock. What else? I think that's about it. And I still have this paired up with the stock radio as well. So, yeah, this thing is fun. It just seems like there's always something that happens to it when I run it for 5 minutes. But hopefully all the bugs are straightened out now, and I got my GoPro Hero 9 on the way. So, definitely can't wait to make some more gnarly videos, especially where I live. I got sand dunes all over. It's Basher's dream out here. And then I got the mud guards right here as well. Overall, this is a really, really heavy rig. It flies awesome, does awesome backflips, but if you land on anything but 3 wheels, you're gonna break something most of the time. So yeah, that's the only downfall. And then yeah, with the gearing, this is a 1100 kV motor. The gearing I have right now is 36 tooth pinion with the 39 tooth spur gear. But if your big truck jitters when you accelerate and like it acts like it's not getting power, check your punch level, because a lot of times the batteries that we buy tend to be, you know, if you don't spend a lot of money and get a super high quality battery, like what I do, I just, you know, go on eBay or Amazon and get cheaper batteries, which I will not do anymore, because I actually had a fire in this one, which is why I have the other straps here, and this is all fire retardant here because I had a Z battery packs here. One of them overheated and caught fire. It was really bad, so I'm never buying Z battery packs again. But another thing is, yeah, you need a really, really good discharge rate to have max punch. So I actually have this on punch level 2 right now, which kind of sucks because you can't get all your power right away initially. But if you're ready going fast, you know, it's only for startup power. So if your wheels are already spinning and you hit the throttle, like, you're still going to get all the power. It's just punch level like when you start up. So, but yeah, if you notice that your car is jittering when you take off, like it's just like it jitters real bad and it sounds like you got like a gear issue, check your punch level, turn down your punch, and that probably will solve the problem. I didn't know that was a problem, so when I originally called Horizon Hobby and I had my original ESC in here, they sent me a new one because I thought it was a firmware issue, but reading up on it, it even says it right in the manual. If it jitters on startup, your discharge rate is too low for your batteries, or your gearing is too high. So I ain't changing my gearing, that's how I run. But yeah, so got it on max or punch level 2 right now, and that's how it's probably going to stay until I get some Gens Ace Basher series, because those have like a 200C like burst discharge rate. So you can probably set your punch to 5 for sure on that. So yep, that's my baby right there. I mean, I have my other baby too that I was walking around, but this is my other baby. All right, for the little 1/16 scale, this is my Erevo width. I'm not gonna tell you right now, but take about 10 seconds. Guess where this ESCM motor is from. You guess? All right, so this is actually the original system from my Wrestler. ESC and motor in this little Erevo. This was a brushed Erevo, but once I took the system out of my Wrestler, I had to figure out something to do with it. So lo and behold, I zip tied that big old ESC with some tape on the chassis. Got that big old motor right there, and this is actually bigger than the motor that you get with the brushless Erevo. Yeah, that's the only upgrades I have on this little thing. Unfortunately, I got a issue right now where once I connect it to my transmitter and turn it on, the throttle just takes off and it starts to go. And I've recalibrated my ESC, I reset my ESC, so I wonder if it's maybe just my transmitter, and that might be the problem. Then I'll just put a new receiver in here and hook it up to my RC4GS. But I don't really drive this that often. It's a lot of fun. It goes really quick. It's actually probably not as fast as the original brushless Erevo, but it's got way more torque with this bigger motor. So yeah, a lot of fun. All right, this is my two-wheel drive Slash. So this actually was a kit. Built the kit, and it's kind of cool because the way Traxless does it is like their kits come with everything you need. So it's still an RTR, but it's a kit, which is cool because like if it's your first kit, you know, you want it to be simplistic, and that's what they do. Traxless is all about simplicity. But from the beginning, I knew that I was going to put a different motor and ESC in it, so I didn't even bother putting in the brushed stuff. Front to back, have Proline tires in the front, have the paddles in the back. These are regular stock shocks all around. This is a stock too, but have the aluminum cap right here. This is actually off of my Rustler because I bent one of my other shock shafts, and I have like shocks ready to go to change out in case I need to. So that's changed out. Have the Sidewinder 4, the Castle Sidewinder 4 ESC with the Castle motor. I think it's a 4200 kV. Let me just try to see here. 4600 kV motor, so this thing flies, and this is a stock gearing right here, and so this is a really quick motor. Unfortunately, it's not censored. The motor can be censored, but not the ESC. I had this connected to my RC4GS radio, Scorched Parts RC inner fender wells, and these are really awesome. They're not expensive, and they're awesome too because they really add to the look of the car. Once the body's on too, kind of cleans the whole thing up. Really easy installation. Has the low center of gravity and chassis. All my cars except for the Erevo have IC5 connectors, and the reason I use IC5 connectors, even though I don't use the smart technology, is because they're super easy to solder. The EC5s, these are more difficult because you got to put like this cover comes off, and you have to like slide it over the bullets right there, and it's just more difficult. For me, these are more expensive, but they're easier, so I just use the IC5s. But besides that, yeah, this is a stock. This was a clear body I painted myself. Not the best, but it's fun. Really, really fun truck, especially on the sand. I think the sand now is my favorite terrain to run on. The only thing I broke so far was a plastic drive shaft. Yeah, that was just the other day. So now I had tons of these left over because Traxless sent me more because they kept breaking. So we'll see how these hold up. I do have some clearance issues with these. The end right there kind of just barely rubs against that rod end. So I figure give it a little bit, and well, actually once it's on the ground it should clear it, because as you push down it clears it. So it might not be a problem. But yeah, another really fun truck. And as far as the servo, I think this is EcoBoost. Yeah, the servo's not very good. It's slow, it's not strong. So, but fun truck to run, really awesome. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. Hope you found my cars interesting. Comment below, what do you guys want me to see run next with a good bashing video. I will have my GoPro Hero 9, so filming should not be an issue, so definitely going to be able to make a way better video and do some more crazy stuff. So as always, thank you for watching, and bash on.